I'm Baby No Money, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show, the best podcast.
Republican Anthony Rogers has no previous political experience. Rogers, a comedian, is well known for a podcast called The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey man, this is Tommy Chong, and right now you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol Baskin, and you are listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey y'all, this is Kevin from Candlebox. You are listening to the funny man Anthony Rogers.
Hey, my name is Alex Sulkin, writer of Ted and Family Guy, and you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show. Lucky you.
Hi. It's about time we have a talk about your bongs and pipes and how dirty they've gotten. So go to resrid.com, link in the description, and get some pipe cleaners, some bong cleaners, step your game up. Everyone is talking. This is not an ad, it's an intervention. Go there now. Welcome back to the greatest show in the entire universe. Today we have a huge guest. One of the newest rappers I kind of got into. BBNO Money's the rap name. His real name's Alex. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. I kind of watched like your thing with that La 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 song or whatever. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And, with like TikTok, I saw you like blow up from that, and I love like where you've gone with that. It's like this really, there's like this like almost like psychedelic kind of rap thing that I feel like was needed in rap. You know, it's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like fun, it's good, and like the shit you do with Young Gravy is great, man. I mean, fucking, you're just killing it, man. Like legitimately.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I mean, it's an uphill battle, but it's really fun, and I'm glad that I get to do what I like want to do in a daily basis type thing. So it's fun. I have no complaints.
That's bad.
It looks like you're chilling at a beach, and I'm in a living room. So you're winning and I'm losing, and you have sunglasses on that like are. Do they move with your face?
Yeah. I went down to. I'm actually at Epstein's Island. I'm trying to get a movie role, so I'm trying to figure. Like, I'm trying to like be in the next one of the next Marvel movies. They're so original, you know.
Yeah, dude. Epstein's Island, Marvel, Thanos.
Just trying to get rich, you know. That's how you do it these days. But no, you've literally been fucking killing me. I love all the shit you're doing, man. Like legitimately, it's not that often that like an artist like comes out and like just every video is kill, every song's kill. It's like fucking crazy, man. Like you're on a good streak right now of just like creating good art, man. I think personally.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I try to do my best. Sometimes it's like, you know, it's really hard to gauge if a song's going to do well or like but at the same time, like, who cares really? Like you make a song, you spend a bunch of money, you bleed, and then you hope for the best. Sometimes it goes off, sometimes it doesn't. Like when I made La La La, for instance, like I didn't know it was gonna go that off. I knew deep down that I was like, this song is fire.
Catchy as fuck.
Yeah, it's the catchiest song I've ever made. Because I sat down and I was literally like, I gotta make a song that is brain dead. And it's brain dead. So it's like you listen to it one time and the second hook you can repeat like fully. So that was like a really good experience. And I was like, damn, like at least it felt good because I was like, oh, I'm a bona fide songwriter. Like I can make music that people like really enjoy. But now I just try to do everything different. It's kind of like my ethos and like have as much fun as I can. So
that song went platinum, right?
I think it's triple platinum in America.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Congrats on that, man. That's crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, when I got the plaque, my parents were like super jacked. It was sick.
Dude, I bet, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And how old are you? You're young, right? You're probably 20s.
I mean, I'm not young. I'm 26.
Yeah, it's still though. I mean, that's great for platinum records, man. Triple platinum in 20. That's not bad at all. And like your song title's like funny because it's like the Crash Test Dummies had like a song called and like that's what like La 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 sounds like to me. Like when I'm like articulating the title, I feel weird saying it. That's why I was like asking if it's even the title. But like that was the catchiest fucking song I've ever heard, man. Like that was so good. And I liked a lot of the videos you did with like you were in like Whip It Tesla, right? You did that song too?
Yeah.
Dude, fucking that shit was great, man. That shit was fucking great, man. Like the lyrics were good. The video was dope. I mean, it was fun. It was funny. It's like you know what I mean? It wasn't pushing like negativity, and I think that like, and I feel like that's huge in art. Like you don't seem like a dude who push like a lot of these guys just push negativity. Like it's like they're like advertising for the privatized prison like complex or something. There's like it's just like that's what I bet they are probably. But it seems but it seems like you're like you got this different vibe, man. Like totally like a fun rap kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean. there's definitely a lot of negativity, whether or not it's like political or just XYZ in the world, and like sadness, you know. And I just steer away from it as much as I possibly can, because it's like, in the end of the day, it's like everyone wants to laugh, right? So why not just like have fun doing everything? Like, do I think that like I can make like good like serious alternative music and be like quote sad? Like I could, but like that's just not really who I am. So I'm the type of guy that goes to a party and like steals food. Like literally, like I remember I went to a party and I was like, dude, like there's a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like I'm gonna steal this shit. And I just like fully stole it. It's just like doing fucking stupid shit. Is kind of like where I get off and where I have fun. And my videographer and I, we always do like a ton of acid. So
that makes sense. I like how the videos are.
It makes sense. Yeah, everything. Once I'm like, yeah, I do acid, and everyone's like, okay, that makes sense.
No, it does that. Yeah, like the cartoon kind of videos and stuff. I mean, that totally like I totally get that. And like, no, I think you're just being authentically yourself, and I think it works. I think that's what I mean. But from just an onlooker, I think that's the secret of your success, just you being yourself, and I think that's important in art and entertainment, especially.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. And like, for instance, like Young Gravy and I, like we're in our own lane. Like no one really does what we do, to be honest.
Yeah, at least as well,
I mean, yeah, maybe at least as well, perhaps. I definitely think I'm, we're not the best musicians in the world, but like at least we try and like we just have fun.
You guys are funny as fuck. You guys are like, like Jimmy. I'll play that song just driving around, like the Tesla song, like a bunch of other shit. I just like, and like they're just funny, man. They're just like good vibes, man. Like,
it's definitely just good vibes.
Is this like shit you wanted to do forever, or just like something you fell into, like music?
No, so I used to be like a competitive swimmer. I went to school and I studied kinesiology and everything. And
what is that? I saw your degree. What does that mean? I'm like stupid.
It's the study of movement and like
interesting.
health. So it was like very very pre-med type thing. Very basic level bio, basic level like chemistry, basic level like physics and whatnot, like biomechanics. So like I know every single muscle in the body and how it works and like where it goes in the body. It's completely irrelevant information to like what I do now. But long story short is like I used to be a competitive swimmer. I was super athletic and I broke my back, and then I kind of just like was super depressed, and then I made a song, and then once I made that song, I was like, wow, this is like euphoric almost. Like I was also very high, and I was like, damn, this is like the coolest shit I've ever done. This is really fun. Like making absolute gibberish on a song. It was like, this is dope. And I kind of just fell in love with the art of making music. And I was like writing poetry at the time too. And then I just like didn't stop, and I haven't stopped. And like, now I think one thing I really like about my musical career is like the hands-onness of marketing. Is like one of my favorite things of the business, is like putting a song out and like figuring out a new tactic and like being creative to like intersect yourself in a viral sense on the internet. And like that shit's so much fun. And it's like I watched like Lil Nas X, for instance, do this to the best of his ability and like the best in the world. And we're living in a time where he's alive and he is a prodigy. If you actually study what he does, it's like it's fascinating. But so that's like kind of where my head's at with music, and I don't plan to stop anytime soon. I got 2 albums lined up for this year, and should be good.
You should do like a TV show or like a movie to like promote your music too. Like I think like the Beatles did, like they did like movies and all that shit. I think you'd have like an interesting take on film too for some reason. Music is with videos and stuff, but I think like if you got you got good people around you, man, you got a lot of talented people. I mean, if you made some fucking TV shows, I'd die laughing, man. I swear to God, like I just think you guys got like the good sense of humor, man. Like I think like it'd be interesting to see what you guys can do, like a comedy movie or a TV show like comedy. I think it would kill, dude. Like literally.
I mean, dude, yeah, I feel like Gravy and I, dude, imagine if we just like hosted like a Love Island show, or like, dude, that would be
that would kill.
Matt would just end up piping all of the fucking girls on the island.
Dude, yeah, it would be That is a funny concept. No, it'd be funny. Like, yeah, we'd see what confident people do on dating shows. Yeah, but no, I think like the humor's there. I mean, I think that I would watch that immediately. I don't even watch those fucking shows, and I'd watch that. You know what I mean? Like, I think the last one I watched like Flavor of Love because it was so fucking ridiculous, but and like funny, but like I think like that would fucking kill if VH1 here's this podcast they're hiring you like immediately or whatever fucking network does that still. You know?
I mean, dude, honestly, it feels like television nowadays is just all reality TV, and it's like. It's probably at the lowest point in television history, in my opinion. But
Same,
dude,
yeah.
people love reality TV, dude. They like love it.
Well, because they're afraid to live real life almost. So they live like this like voyeuristic life where they've lived through guys like you. Even I mean, you're a famous person. I mean, they live through like the famous people and like people they see on screen and TV and stuff because they're afraid of like their own goals and their own power and their own whatever. You know, maybe it's not fear based all the time, but it seems like it. It seems like everyone's got dreams. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck isn't everybody chasing them? Like,
it's interesting. It's interesting because I feel like people are like totally okay with living vicariously through people, and like
it's weird.
You know, say Livy. I remember I was just like, damn, I'm for real about to off my shit if I have to work like a full blown 9 to 5. I was just like, I can't let this happen type thing. And I'm happy that I worked my ass off and I got myself.
My soul screamed at me every time I had a day job. It was just like, what the fuck you doing? Like you're like wasting your life. You know, like I would just have all that shit too. Like I have to work for myself in a similar thing. You know, otherwise I couldn't. You know what I mean? Like rap looks more fun than podcasting, I think, but in comedy. But like it looks like rap seems like a fun avenue, man. Like
it's definitely best of both worlds. There's pros and cons. I'm sure there's definite cons and pros and of being a comedian / a podcaster. But like I don't know, man. It's I'm not complaining. Let's say that. And like you're at the beach right now. How could you be complaining?
Yeah, this is a real beach.
So, IRL beach.
Super real. No, yeah, it's crazy. You blew up at a weird time too, because like you guys blew up. I'd say like what, like right before the fucking pandemic. So you get like fucking huge, and then you got all these huge ass shows and shit, and then it's like oh, all business is illegal for 2 years. That's like insane. Like it's got to be an insane time to blow up too. Like
it definitely felt like I kind of lightly got robbed. I mean,
I think so. Like,
count my blessings. I definitely won. Still, and I was very fortunate to be in my apartment for 3 months, not leave and be like financially totally safe. But dude, I had like 150 shows lined up. Like my year was going to be a movie, and I just got kind of cucked. But it is what it is, and it happened. And I need to like also understand that happened to everyone. So it's just like that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Like it's like you can't care about something like that. So I didn't. In the end of the day, I found peace with it. But I'm back on tour this year. I got like 100+ shows again, so no complaints.
Oh yeah, you survived it pretty well. I'd say better because like you're like your social media game's strong. So like basically. Like I mean, that's how you survive anything like that. Like if people can't go out, they're gonna fucking stare at Instagram and like whatever else, YouTube, and I mean, your streams probably went up like during that time. I don't know that, but I'd imagine.
I mean, a little bit. It's
you're already big before that though, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, it's interesting because like everyone knows me from like the La time, but like I had like a full time like I was getting paid really well via like Spotify and everything. Before La dropped, like before Sriracha dropped, I was making like a really good wage, and I was like, damn, like I made it, like this is crazy, like. And then La happened, and I was like, oh, this is really crazy. And then now I'm just like I'm like hitting a point where it's like I'm an artist, and now I have to just like rinse and repeat and keep dropping shit and having as much fun as I can and bleeding in my bank account, but it's fun. So.
When was like the first time you're like, man, this is my job now. Like I'm in this game, like you said, like it was before that song. Like when would you say it was?
So there's like two pivotal points in my music career. When I was going to school, there's this place called UNC, and it's just like a student union building. And I would go. There was a breakfast burrito for $4.25, and I would buy that every single day because I was making $4 a day off my music. And I was packing on pounds. Don't get me wrong. I was chubby back then, but it was fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like you're like, damn, like I'm doing something on the internet and I'm getting paid to do it and I'm making $4. And it's like, yeah, like I would go back to Vancouver and work as a busser and an expo at a very popular restaurant in Vancouver and make great money. And then I was paying for my education. And it just like hit different. I don't know how to explain it. Like it was like not a lot of money, but I was like, dude, like I'm legitimately getting paid for fucking just like saying stupid shit on a microphone and people are listening to my music. It's like it was very, very rewarding. So that was like the first time that I felt like I made it. And then the second time, I would say like La 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 was like when I dropped it, I graduated university too. That same fucking day it came out, and it was a very surreal moment. It was like, damn, like I'm good. I'm set for life. That was it. It's just like I was in China when it was like really starting to explode on a boat in between Tokyo and or Japan and China, and it was like it did like 100K a day, and then it did like 400K a day, and then it did like 1 million, and I was like,
damn.
And like all of my songs are doing maxed off at like 40K a day, maxed, and this song was just astronomical, like just like parabolic, and it was I remember just sitting in that bed and I had like a fake tattoo on my face and I was like wasted. And I would like honestly just started crying a little bit. I was like, damn, dude, like this is I've worked my ass off for about 4.5, 5 years at this point. And I was like, damn, this feels good. I don't know. Like
beautiful. No, it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it was a very beautiful experience. And I was just like, holy shit, like I can't believe this is actually happening. Like, because I saw Gravy blow up. And I remember the day he called me, I was walking home from work. He's like, bro, every time I open my Instagram, I'm getting 100 followers. And at this time, we were like 2K followers, like 3K followers, like capped. And I was like, dude, you're blowing up. Like, you're blowing up. And then at that point, I was like, this is when I stopped partying. This is when I stopped like drinking. This is when I started drinking more coffee at 4 a.m, because I was like, I need this opportunity. Like, no one gets an opportunity. He's like a freaking collaborator. And I was like, if I fumble this bag, and I looked down in the past and the future that I got lazy during this moment where he got a lot of shine, I would literally be like so disappointed in myself. So I started going like 7 times as hard, and like, dude, it just worked. Like you just got to put your mind to it, as cliche as that is. But like, honestly, you just got to be like, you just got to treat yourself like shit and just work your fucking ass off and it'll work. Like, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome, man. That's very honest too. I think a lot of like, not a lot of muddy waters. You're pretty upfront, like authentic. I like those answers. You're from Vancouver, you said?
Yeah, Vancouver, Canada.
That's cool. I've been to Maple Ridge area. I've been to Vancouver a little bit. Like,
why Maple Ridge, bro?
It was actually, it's funny. Like, the guy, my buddy that was on, I had on a podcast before the Super Bowl. He makes movies up there in Canada, and I was in his Rampage movie on Netflix, and like that was in Maple Ridge. Like, they shoot a bunch of movies right there in Vancouver, like, and a bunch of TV shows and shit. Like,
TV and movie is very, very cheap. It's called like the Canadian Hollywood or some shit, because the exchange rate is so beneficial for like American film companies. And then also like getting people to work for like film and whatnot in Vancouver is so cheap in comparison to people in LA. So it's like, that's why like most films are shot in Vancouver, because it's just,
you have Atlanta. I'd say Hollywood's dead. I think you got Atlanta, you got Vancouver, you got a couple other areas, but like I'd say Hollywood's. I mean, like everyone just makes fun of Hollywood actors now. Like, they're not even cool anymore, you know. I think like rappers. I mean, I think you probably have more fans of Tom Cruise, but no one will say that. You mean I
don't know.
In this generation, I mean, like you got to think like, what's the last thing he put out? Like what's like output wise? I'm not saying Tom Cruise in the '90s, but Tom Cruise
doing Top Gun 2's
oh shit! Okay, never mind. You're right. Fuck,
that's just about to go crazy.
That's gonna go crazy, right? That's
gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
I thought you were talking
like 4 feet tall.
He was like, hey, it's Anthony Rogers, your favorite comedian, and you're probably watching my podcast right now. But without liquid gummies and liquidgummies.com, link in the description, this show wouldn't exist. So go there, show your support, use promo code Rogers10 and get some federally compliant edibles that will rock you, man. I'd eat one at a time. They're good, and get some. he's like on Mission Impossible 57 or some shit. I was like, this guy. I mean, this guy. Like everyone thinks these guys are famous, but I'd say like fucking rappers and porn stars and influencers they have like way more fans, and nobody even sees it. Like it's weird. Like nobody admits it or something.
I mean, the thing is, it's interesting. Is it's all a facade. Like
for sure,
it's all a facade. Like I probably have more people that like don't passively like care about me, or no. People passively care about like Tom Cruise more than they probably care about me, but I probably have people that are like, I look up to this guy, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah. It's a weird, like, almost like power differentiation, because it's like movies and shit. Like, dude, yeah. I mean, at least for me, I've never been like, damn, like I'm trying to be Robert Downey Jr. Like I love Johnny Depp because I look like him and I get compared all the time. And Johnny Depp's a legend. I feel bad for what's going on right now. And I don't know which side to sway because I haven't really read into it that much, but
it feels like a movie. The whole thing just seems fake, like a movie. Like everything on TV.
Yeah, I saw this meme of like these guys wearing a bunch of costumes, like and they were listening to Pirates of the Caribbean outside, right in front of Amber Heard's lawyer walking, and he's like, "Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, say ye," and I'm like, bro, this is like, why is like everything a fucking meme nowadays?
No, like that's crazy.
Very serious problem that like it's $100 million lawsuit. Like it's like based on like, you know, domestic abuse, and it's like people are dressed up like Captain Jack Sparrow, like memeing it, and I'm like, dude, this is like, it's his personal life, you know. It's like it's sad, but I mean, I guess that's just the way like the media like constrays, and like, you know, that's how like people see media these days, is like through jokes. But I don't know. I don't really have too much to talk about it, and I'm not like well researched enough to talk about what's going on there. But
I can't watch that shit either. But it's like, it's fun. I like the memes and stuff you laugh about, like you run up. But like, no, it's weird because like you saw that during the Michael Jackson thing too. I think fame does this weird thing, like it supersedes like the Electra and like the Oedipus complex for some reason, and then also it's like this like it's this weird thing, like maybe lack of American royalty. I don't know, or lack of royalty, because there's always been this kind of part of the brain where people are just like, oh, that person is just the person that gets everything. And people are cool with it. It's like weird, because like at any other time, like, you'd be like, what the fuck, you know? I feel like the poor would just rob the rich at any point. Like they would just like, any other time in history, like Jeff Bezos would have no money because it'd be distributed back to the community because people just go crazy. But right now, it's like this weird flex and weird time. Like these people are like safe in this weird pocket of something. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's interesting though.
Yeah, Elon just bought fucking Twitter.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like $44 billion. It's like one of the largest acquisitions of all time. Like,
probably. Yeah, I know. Probably. I mean, I can't think of a bigger one right off the top.
What's going on? You know, it's like, dude, yeah, we just lived through that. Like one of the major social media platforms, like the major social media platforms.
Yeah.
Bought.
Hopefully, I get my verified account back. You know, so I'm like, give me that shit back, Elon. I'll decide how I feel about you after you read that appeal.
Yeah,
like, they fucking deleted everybody, man. I think either like I have this weird. I'm kind of skeptical of like just billionaires in general. So I'm like, I look at this and I'm like, they're all friends. Like him and Jack Dorsey are on like so many fucking live streams, and they're buddies and shit. And then I'm like, is this just like a way to make Twitter cool again after they banned all the funny people? Because like literally they banned all the fun. I mean, if you were funny at all, if you had any kind of sense of humor, no, you have more innocent kind of sense of humor. I think yours can get away with it. But if you had any kind of like I'm just gonna say fuck you, and I'm gonna say be kind of edgy or whatever, like any kind of thing like that, you're gone. They fucking deleted the sitting president. They deleted all these people, and like I think it's a redemption act almost. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you don't know what.
I don't.
I don't at all. No idea.
Yeah, I only speculation.
I do think that like he does use some of his wealth for good. I mean, Tesla in itself is like kind of forward thinking, and like,
yeah,
you know, he did donate like $5.8 billion to something, and like I can't remember specifically what it was, but I mean, like, regardless if it's for optics, it's still like a philanthropy, and he's doing more than most people, period.
Oh, but for sure. Yeah.
I don't know like politically where he stands. I don't really know. Like, I don't really tap into Elon that much, but I do like the car Tesla. I like Tesla. It's a nice car. Yeah, I don't know.
No, he's done.
Definitely. I feel like he's like too powerful.
That's my problem.
And he's like a memer, and it's like, you're like, what's going on here? So it's interesting. We live in a time where like memers are like the biggest people in the world.
It's the new pop art. I mean, it's the most successful pop art. I mean, I'd say.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
People
It
willingly
definitely-
want to share it. It's like almost like just nature to share it at this point. It's just like, oh, I'm going to share this. Oh, it's funny. I'm going to share it. Oh, you have something funny. I'm going to steal that and share it. You know, it's just like, that's basically just like this weird like thing that like no one really talks about, but it happens more than anything. Like basically.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, but I mean, whatever.
And I'm not trying to shit on his character or anything. I was just saying I'm really skeptical of people with lots of money that are all friends in the same. I'm just kind of skeptical of I don't know, but it doesn't mean anything. And I'm just a fucking dude on a fake beach with an opinion, you know. It's like
no, absolutely.
Just being. I mean, he's doing more than me. He's more active in the world and less selfish than I am. You know, I'm wearing a hat with my face on it. You know what I mean? I'm a very selfish self promoter, you know. But so I'm not. You know, he's like fucking going to space and like fucking trying to figure out. There's probably already black book like civilizations on Mars and shit, you know. Like that guy's probably a part of it.
I genuinely think that like he probably knows a lot about where the health of the planet is at with the ozone layer and greenhouse gases. So he probably knows like what the hell's going on and how fucked we are. But you know, we only learn that through like a very tertiary level of sustainability classes in, you know, post-secondary education, to the point where it's like, yeah, we're like 50 years fucked. So your kids are probably never going to see snow, and like California is going to be covered in water in like 45 years. But how are we supposed to know what actually is going to happen? Like,
you know what I think about that though, about climate change? I definitely agree it's a huge problem. But what I think is happening is I think we're spiraling into the sun. I think the sun's mass exceeds Earth, and we're like spiraling into it, and like very slowly from our perspective. But I think that like I think based on it would explain the ice age, explain why it's getting hotter every year, and like to me anyway. I think that's just naturally what happens. I mean, like when you look at exoplanets and other planets, like most of the other planets are like would-be planets in the solar systems are really attached to their star, and like everything gets sucked into their star is what I'm assuming happens basically. Yeah. But thankfully very slow at our rate. Yeah. We're gonna have hella civilizations while it's spiraling into the sun. Yeah, you know, that's how I feel, but I don't know.
As long as I can get to like 75, 85, I'm good. I don't care.
Yeah. If we're lucky to do that, it's weird. Like I felt like how old, you're 26, you said?
Yeah, 26.
You're a little bit young. I'm about 10 years older. But our parents probably similar ages. I think like that generation's weird because like you're seeing a lot of them like fucking like fuck up at like 50 and shit rather than be like old like our grandparents. Like that's really fucking terrifying. And I think a lot of it's the processed food, the 80s culture, the whole fucking like, you know, just like the whole fucking like processed like bullshit thing. I think people aren't eating real food. They're not drinking. Their water's acidic. I mean, they're fucking they're just not taking care of themselves.
Yeah, everyone's got GERD and shit. It's acid reflux.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
So even the water we're drinking, I mean, everything's acidic right now that we drink. It's fucking weird. Foods, hot sauces, and all that shit. I don't know. It's a weird time, and I hope we all get to the luxury of old age for sure.
I mean, I will say that like things have gotten healthier. I mean, I'm on the West Coast, so things have gotten definitely healthy in like LA and Vancouver. It's like health forward. I do think that like a lot of the people's mental healths have fucking fallen off the planet of the earth.
Well, yeah, it's a trying time.
That's COVID, that's TikTok, that's social media being like the prominent wrecking force of like everyone's thought process and like, you know, like normal everyday life brain. But that's just the way it is, you know, like that's just how like we're moving forward into Web3 space and like how everything is going to be electronic. Like we're literally doing a podcast and you're on a fucking beach. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, shit's crazy these days for sure.
You know, it is. Cause like, I feel like in order to have an interview with like somebody of like your stature, I'd have to live in LA or New York. And like back in the day, like, and I feel like a giant luxury to be able to talk to guys like you from Missouri. You know, I don't have to fucking live in these major cities. I could live in the middle of fucking nowhere if I want to. I could live in a city if I want to. I could do it. You know, I can do whatever I want. And I think it's crazy. Like you said you're in Los Angeles, I guess then?
Yeah, right now.
That's crazy where you're at in your career, I think, though. I think if you're a rapper, you should be. If you're a successful rapper, you should be in LA. Like I think you almost have to.
You know, it's interesting because like back in the day, I would totally agree. But I came down here when I was like successful. That was like the first time I ever came down to LA. Is when
that's when you should go to LA, in my opinion.
Yeah, because
that's when you should.
Then you'll get lost in the sauce down here because everyone is a quote successful XYZ in LA. And that's what I hate about LA is everyone thinks they're fucking dope here. But in reality, they're just losers. And
The secret is everyone's a fucking loser, just pretending they're cool.
Yeah.
None of us. Like
and
none
this
of us.
I know. I know that. And dude, I am a loser.
We all, everybody.
Yeah, 100%. So
knowing that's everything, though. I think knowing that's everything. Most people don't know that. They believe their own bullshit. They're like, oh man, I must be really special, you know? Like they believe their own fucking bullshit, and like that's why I like Missouri better. It's like I have real conversations. I can go to the. I'm in the suburbs right now, so I can be like 30 minutes to the country, 30 minutes to the city, whatever. I mean, it's not a real. I mean, it's a low populated city, but it's still like I like the architecture and shit. And I'm from here, so I just love it, man. I love Missouri, and like it's hard to get me out of here, you know?
dude, no, same with Vancouver. Vancouver is like very, very tame. Like there's not much going on and stuff, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, I don't know.
Canadians are really polite. They're like Americans without all the like. I mean, this is a generalization, sweeping generalization, but they don't tend to have ego. When I was up there, it's like really weird, and they're just polite.
It's weird because like from my understanding is, let's say you take the exact same human being that grew up in America, grew up in Canada. I think social norm and like the stereotype of a Canadian is like, yeah, I'm going to be outwardly nice to you, but I won't necessarily help you. Whereas American is like, I'm not going to be nice to you if you're asking for help because I don't give a shit about you, but I can help you. That's like my feeling is like
that's funny.
In Canada are like, oh, I'm Canadian, I'm fake and nice, like oh yeah. Whereas like America's like, dude, shut the fuck up, just go over there type thing. It's like, and it's like that's what I've noticed. I don't know. A lot of people kind of agree with me, but
I can see that. No, I can see that. It's like like I wasn't in Canada long enough to get to know people really well either. So I probably only saw the outward appearance of it. And like, no, there's a lot of Indian people I thought was cool up there too. And it was weird being in another country with people from other countries. It was just like, it was like a weird vibe. Yeah. It was, I loved it though. I was like, I loved it. It was beautiful up there. I went to Maple Ridge. I was where it was shot, and I was around there, and then Vancouver as well. I was up in that area and stuff, and I didn't like. I made the mistake of going there, and then my phone plan went out because I only had a U.S. phone plan because I was an idiot in my 20s, and I just like I crossed the border, and then like the phone like the fucking data goes out, the GPS goes out, and I'm 15 minutes from like the place I'm supposed to be, and then fucking like. And then like I had to figure out how to get to a movie set, and like I swooped some kid from a gas station. He was like in his 20s. I was like, how the fuck do I get to this place? You have a GPS, I don't. And I'm like, I had to figure out what a kilometer was. I'm a fucking idiot, man. I mean, like I'm like basically I'm smart at like certain things, but I'm like a complete fucking idiot when it comes down to like
directions and whatnot.
Yeah, and how to fucking I didn't know what a kilometer was. I didn't even know it was on my gas gauge too. Like I pointed out to me, I learned so much shit just going to Canada. Like that I probably didn't know I was going to learn because I was just like ate a sugar cube of acid. I'm like, I'm going to be in my movie. I'm going to be in a movie. I'm fucking, finally my dreams are cut, blah, you know, that whole thing. Listen to Kanye West the whole fucking time and shit. And you get over there and like data just goes out. I'm like, I don't know anything.
Yeah, you're really in the trenches up in Canada, bro. I get it. Like, it's so interesting because like the population of California has like 7 million more people than all of Canada.
Yeah, Canada's like 30 million people, right? Like something like that. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's fucking nuts, dude. And no one really knows that. Like, because I think it's like 75% of the whole population of Canada is like 50 kilometers away from the border. So everything in north is just like towns of 1,000 people. And
yeah, that's crazy.
Trees. It's sick.
And you guys don't have turnaround ramps in Vancouver. Like in Missouri, like every highway, like there, like every so often on a highway, there's just like a bunch of like spots you can literally turn around and go the opposite way on the highway in Missouri. Yeah. And like Canada doesn't have that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to flip out because I'm like I like GPS out all the, like I'm like how the fuck do I get? It was like a different loading screen, bro. It was like beautiful. Everything was beautiful. But it was like I went to a different video game loading screen and had no fucking clue how to handle it. You know, it was fun though, but it was just weird.
Dude, I feel every time I like travel the rest of the world too. It's like I'm like, damn, like Canada is goated. It's like one of the best places in the world. There's no question. So it's
pretty cool. No, it seems cool. I was only there for like a week or two, but I mean I enjoyed it for sure. And like,
did you go down to like Vancouver proper of like the downtown or no?
Yeah. I went down just to kind of explore a little bit. My buddy had a restaurant down there, like at the time, and I should have went there too, but I was just kind of just wandering. Oh man, I forget Baja's restaurant, BAUS restaurant. I forgot. It's closed right now, but it was he had it pre-pandemic. It was owned by the guy I actually had in the podcast right before you, Uwe Boll. He's like a German filmmaker, lives in Canada, and he works on a
steakhouse.
It's a German food place or something. I forgot what it's called. He'd fucking
Huh.
kill me for not knowing it probably, but I
Pretty
forgot.
good.
I forgot what it's called. But no, Vancouver's interesting. And I was in like I said, I was in Maple Ridge like primarily, and then around there's kind of the perimeter. Vancouver's like what 30 minutes from there. Or something. I forgot how far, but something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, it was interesting just to kind of see Canadian culture. Like I mean, as like a little bit. I mean,
I would say that like Canada, Toronto, Montreal, it's not very like Canadian culture. It's
okay.
like Canadian culture is like Trailer Park Boys and Letterkenny. That's Canada. um, and like and it's like the purest form of Canadian culture. Like when you go outside of like these more quote Americanized cities, you get people smoking darts and like you get like it's kind of like middle town America or small town America, but it's like Canada and yeah, you just notice like different like mannerisms and different types of etiquettes and whatnot and yeah, I don't know. I'm doing a Canadian tour and I'm really excited because I'm going to a bunch of cities that I've never been to and like I've been told like they're cool cities and they're just very Canadian, but like Vancouver is Seattle and Montreal is just like kind of like Europe and then Toronto is just New York and that's pretty much it. So,
That's funny. That totally makes sense. Like the way you put that in perspective. That's kind of how like America is kind of too. Like outside the major cities, I guess you'd have the actual culture and stuff. Like that's you kind of blew my mind with that. Like what was weird to me is like ketchup potato chips too. That was fucking weird. Like but I mean they're good. I mean still ate them, but it was just fucking weird to even see that.
Dude, they're unbelievably good. I love
so fucking weird.
They're like so good, dude. Oh,
that's why I like all those like weird like fucking like brand
regionalized foods,
dude. Yeah, trying like fucking Doritos from Japan or some shit. Like I love that. I order that shit all the time on the internet. Like I'll order like all these different like sodas and food sometimes, like just because like it's fucking crazy. And I barely even eat that shit.
I think Asian culture has like the best snack option for sure.
I think so too.
There's no question. It's like you want like shrimp covered chocolate bears. Let's go.
That sounds fire. You already sold me. That's probably made up. Like I'm already sold on like Vietnamese food is my favorite food of all fucking time.
Dude,
it's like the
me
best.
Too. Vietnamese food is the best fucking cuisine, hands down.
It's healthier and it's like clean and it's fucking delicious. It's like fucking.
Whenever I have conversations about Vietnamese food and people are trying to be like, yeah, like this is better. The thing is about Viet is it's so fresh, it's so simple and so healthy that like if you go to any Vietnamese joint, it's like always a 7.5. It's always a 7.5, full stop. You get like a bun or you get like a rice plate with lemongrass chicken, and it's like a 7.5 hard stop. Whereas like you go to like a sushi joint or like any other cuisine, and it's like it could fumble, like it could be fucking terrible. But like, dude, Vietnamese food is so goddamn good.
Yeah, it is, dude. Like the pho, or whatever, the man. Their fucking broths are fire, man. Like everything's so crazy good, man. Like I eat that shit like probably like once a week out here in St. Louis. Like when I'm out there.
I at home in Vancouver, so I grew up like I was pretty much like token white at my high school, and I would think I was like surrounded by a ton of Asian culture. And there's this one place called Pho Tan in Vancouver, and it's in Kerrisdale where I went to high school, and it's on 41st and Arbutus. And they have this soup that is like it's a pho. It's like a full normal pho broth, but it's with satay in it. But their satay is so fucking good, and it is undeniably the best dish I've ever had in my entire life. Like I go back to it like once a week when I'm home, like guaranteed. Like it's on my mind. Like as soon as I land, I'm like, this is like my comfort. This is like exactly what I want. I go there, they know me. I've been going there for like 15 years, and it's like, dude, oh, I can't get the point across. It's just so unbelievably good.
That's so weird. I have the same experience in St. Louis. Like I literally like they like know like the same thing. I go there so often. They know me. It's weird. I've never even met anybody else that liked it as much. Like I get people going there and they like it, but like not as much. You know, it's like that's just, like when I'm a millionaire, you'll know because I'll live in Vietnam. I'll literally just I literally just like exchange rates lower. The fucking food's like 25 cents a meal and shit, and it's all fresh. I'm like I'm gonna end up like just staying in Vietnam for the rest of my life once I'm a millionaire. Like I'm working towards a certain amount of money and then I'm just fucking done. And I'm like going.
Sorry for interrupting, but it's interesting because like a lot of people in America like don't really get exposed into like Asian culture as much, and like especially in like smaller towns. And like because I grew up with so much Asian culture like around me that it was just like I don't know. But I'm so blessed to have the flavors in my life. Like holy fuck, dude! Like I remember I met this guy. One of the first times I ever came to LA, he's like, yo, I've never had broccoli. And I was like, what? I was like, the fuck are you doing? And I was like, what else haven't you had? He's like, I've never had Vietnamese, I've never had Chinese food. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
That's
you know what I
wild.
mean? Like, how
Where's
have
he
you
from?
lived your life? He's from LA. Just
That's
like
fucking weird. Okay, that's super weird.
full stop LA.
Like an adult told you this?
Who?
Like an adult person?
Like 20? I think
Still
it was like
counts.
21 at the
Still
time.
counts. That's fucking wild. Not trying. Like, did he have parents? Like, fuck. Like, my parents like made me eat broccoli from like a young age. Like, I mean,
Yeah, and like maybe he was lying to me, but I remember like we went out and we got Vietnamese food together, and he like had no idea what was in it. Like he didn't know what to expect. I was like, bro, you're crazy, bro.
that is crazy.
Like crazy. There's also a really good place called Doce in Vancouver. It's like full vegan, full gluten free, and they have these like coconut rice cakes. It's Viet, and they're like, dude, oh, so fucking good. Oh.
Dude, man, that's so crazy. Like, you've even heard, like, most people that don't know anything about that shit. Like, and I love it though. It's like, I don't know how to say it, but it's like, I mean, I don't know their language. A lot of times I sound like a fucking idiot when I'm talking to them, but outside of that, I mean, it's fun, you know?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think Asian cuisine is just the best, full stop.
When it's fresh, yeah. It's like, I think the popularization of Chinese food made it all like fast food quality. It's like it all comes from like fucking the same distributor in like Kentucky or something. And they just like have it in freezers and ship it out. Like, and hot braised chicken's like good, but it's not fresh, you know? Like most of the time, like what's weird is like, I'm in the suburbs of St. Louis right now. And like, there's like a buffet of all things, like up the road from here. And like fresh fucking like Chinese food plus like fucking fresh sushi, and it's all like it's like $8 or something for like a buffet type meal of all that, and it's like, and like
the one that's interesting is like I feel like Chinese food is so like Americanized, like American Chinese food is so bad. It's like I've been to China like several times, and like, dude, street food in China goes crazy mode. When you know that they're like reusing the oil type thing, it's so fucking good. And it's like you got like a really, really like Szechuan eggplant, or you got a hot pot. Oh my God, dude. I remember there was this, I was like out with a bunch of fans. They were like, yo, we'll take you to hot pot. I was like, bet, let's go. And I drank the Szechuan like hot pot, and I couldn't feel my mouth for 3 days, but I was like wasted at the hot pot joint, and they were like, do it. Oh, we'll pay you. Do it. And dude, I love Asian culture, bro. I could talk about it for days.
That's interesting. No, it's to me, it's like same as like Australia. It's like the other side of the world type shit. Where I don't really fucking understand it. So it's like, or I didn't when I went into it. At least I have a loose understanding now. But I just love that. I mean, I got friends from Australia just from the internet. You know, I have like friends from like Australia and like different places like that, and like Indonesia and stuff. And I just like learn all this weird shit. Like, and I think that like that's like it's just good to have that perspective. And like it's just so confused. The culture just seems confusing until you get to know it more, and then it makes more sense. You know.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting. That's like everything, though, I guess. But
yeah, absolutely.
Have you been to Australia?
Huh?
Have you been to Australia?
Dude, it's fire. I love Australia.
I want to go. I've never been to Australia. That's one of the places I need to go.
It's kind of like if Canada
was Texas.
Like,
I was joking.
Kind of. It's like if Canada had like tons of hot people, like very attractive looking people, and they were all happy and it was sunny all the time.
Oh wow.
That's Australia. It's probably one of the nicest places in the world. Full stop.
That'd be crazy.
New Zealand is crazy, dude.
Yeah, my buddy lives in New Zealand, but he's from Australia originally. That's like it's one of my buddies over there. Yeah, no, that's fucking crazy. I want to see that so bad. Like I'll be talking to him. He has like real shit like this behind him. Like it'll just be like in his like backyard, and it just looks majestic as fuck. I'm like that looks crazy, man. I haven't been to New Zealand or Australia or anywhere in Oceania. I want to check that out though.
It's definitely a play. I think make sure you do New Zealand if you go.
So are you like the Beatles over there and shit? Are you huge over there too and shit?
I mean, supposedly I'm bigger than I used to be. There's no doubt, but I don't really necessarily know how big I am. But like the radio stations out there that's saying like, yeah, you're getting way bigger. So
cool. No, congrats, man, on all your success. That's badass. And like, I think that's the best probably travel in the world.
Again? Oh.
Okay. Good luck.
Bye.
See you later. Nice to meet you. But I guess people can fucking literally Google you. But is there anything you want? It's hard for me to ask this question to like people that are like bigger. But like, is there anything you want to throw out, like any links or anything like that before we get on here? Like anything people should look up or like in particular? besides just Googling
when
it.
does this come out, you think?
Probably, I don't know. I never know, man. I literally never know. I stack like awesome interviews like this, and I'm just like, and I figure it out as I go, like kind of with the ads and stuff.
My name is BBNO Money. I probably have another album called Beg or Die dropping September 9th or 2nd. And then Baby Gravy 3 will be coming. I'm going to be touring the world, so make sure you come and find me on the shows. And I give out cookbooks at every single show for no fucking reason. And my show is pretty much borderline stand-up comedy, so come through. There you go.